So, we got a tripod. So, I guess that means we don't need Michelle anymore.
I'm useless. Just kidding. I'm not.
Yeah, that's going to be a thing. Doesn't she look lovely in her shirt?
Meaning the color. That's what he means.
Yes. Not that it's just on. Alright, come on, scooch in and get both get in the frame.
I think I probably
That'd be funny. That's the move I put on. Is the camera angle's really tight, you gotta get in close. So that reminds me of my first kiss. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about first kisses.
Oh, we are?
I was in 6th grade.
Oh my
and
goodness.
I had a girlfriend, and we liked to play board games. And so we're playing Stratego, and I'm like, hey, let's kiss. She goes, oh, I don't know. She's hemming and hawing. She's like, so finally, it's like kind of like it hits her out. She's like, people can see in the window. And I'm like, it's okay. We can just lie on the floor. And that
Sean
worked.
was allowed to watch TV that was not made for children.
That worked. What?
That's what it was.
Okay, so okay, go ahead. Now you're
6th grade. Didn't
Oh,
have
6th
a
grade
kiss in
too?
6th grade. No,
Oh.
This friend who was my best friend. I think he leaned in and tried once, but I was like, ew, kid, like I didn't have the finesse figured out. So I'd say 14, probably for my first real kiss. Threw me. I was so in love. Didn't know how to kiss, but got a good.
But what was the
Got
context?
a good tutor.
Let's get context here.
Dated him for 2 weeks. My first boyfriend. Was in love with him for years.
How about location?
I was at a carnival for high
nice.
school. So here I was, a 14-year-old. I think I was in 9th grade.
Right.
And I had, I was on the
age.
arm of this, handsome guy who was actually 2 years older than me. So he was in 11th grade. Yeah, and he was my boyfriend for 2 whole weeks. Although we were friends for years and years and years. We only did the, will you go out with me? Which is pathetic, for 2 weeks. Yeah, it was kind of sad.
It's great. It's magical.
It was, and everybody was kind of in awe.
So was it on the ground? Was it
a wall, just standing there.
A wall?
Yeah, like on our way out.
It was in an alleyway.
Got the kiss thing.
That's great.
Wasn't bad. Liked it. Yeah.
All right.
Kissing
My wife and I first kissed on a bridge overlooking a river underneath the light of the rotating Taco Bell sign.
So romantic.
Yeah.
Oh, the ambiance.
Nothing says nothing says romance like a pork fajita.
That's awful.
I'm hungry.
I don't think they have.
Let's get some gorditas.
Gorditas.
Which, by the way, can be translated as little fat girl. Yeah, it's true. Una gordita?
No, that makes sense.
Ay, mira esa gordita!
That is so sad.
Alright, I think I just offended all the... Well, anyway. You know
All
what?
the
You can't go
Taco Bell
through
workers.
life worried that you're going to offend people.
Yeah, so there's
Alright. Let's talk about news. Okay, so there it is. There it is. That was an awkward first note. I wonder what brought that on.
I don't know why
Can't
first
remember
kisses.
what it was.
Yeah,
Maybe it was the windows in the room. So, okay. First off, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all of our viewers, to all of our customers, because it's you. It is that you choose our business to be successful. And by successful, I mean we get food and electricity and shelter.
Always, and a job we love.
Always nice features.
Which is a big deal.
Happiness is necessary for human life.
We all love being here. We all love working on your projects.
And it's because you buy things from us. That's basically it. So from us to you, thank you very much. I always find it very pleasantly surprising. I find it humbling. And you know, that any moment it could just dry up and blow away. And, okay, let's not think about that.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah, everyone's yeah, it could. I'm going to go buy my stuff from somewhere else now. So, okay. So, news items for Sarah. What do you got?
Let's see. We just got through Christmas. Did we talk about Christmas?
We haven't had a morning show since Christmas.
Okay, so we had Christmas.
Okay,
I had 11 stockings hanging in a row.
Wow, because you
and
just
lots of foster kids and my own
right.
kids, 5 of my own and 4 foster, and So it was the biggest Christmas we've ever
So
had
why
as far as
11?
number of people.
So you and your husband make a
Oh, yeah.
Got
Oh,
it.
we have to get stockings. That's
Oh,
all we
yeah.
get at my house. That's it. All the rest is for the kids. And it was a fun one because the last few Christmases we've not bought a lot. You know, we've done a lot of homemade gifts for each other, but with having all the foster children with us, we felt like we had to do typical kind of Christmas a little bit. So.
Wait, so normally you do homemade gifts?
Last couple of years we've like gone on trips instead.
So it's vegetarian Halloweens and homemade gifts for Christmas. All right, no, it's okay. No, see, cosmically, I'm making up for you.
In the great scheme of things, there are a lot of vegetarians in this world.
Right.
Just not in America.
I'm not knocking vegetarianism.
So, you know, that being what it is, we had
Actually,
all of my family, well, not all of, my sister and her kids and my brother and his kids are all over last night. And we had a whole meal and everybody's just full and it's just, this is great. And nobody missed meat at all.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody even asks. It's not even, like, nobody notices. It's not like, oh my gosh, I'm eating weird food. It's not weird food, it's just food without meat in it. But you all eat food without meat.
There's more variety.
Oh, there's tons of variety. So,
once you
whatever.
look
No,
at
but my
all the
kids,
plant life on the planet.
my kids, we talked about it and we decided to kind of back off on the commercialism stuff, and they love making gifts for each other. It's a big deal. So we've done that all the years. So they still made gifts this year and taught the new foster kids to do that too. So they all had projects going on for the weeks leading up to Christmas, and we're really excited about the things they were going to give each other. So we opened all of those first, and that took a long time, and it was very exciting. And then we also had bought presents.
Now, if my sons restored a Mustang and gave that to me as their homemade gift, that would be all right.
Yeah. Well, I'm never going to bring Sean over to my way of thinking about this at all. But anyway, we had a good one. It was really fun. We had a good Christmas.
That's fantastic.
It was a lot of good times, and the kids were all happy, and we had a great time.
It is a good time. I like the holidays.
Nice.
I'm very positive about it.
Yeah.
For my part, I chose this year to embrace, to just full on accept all the commercialism, all of the materialism, and that's what we did. We had a very selfish Christmas. It was fantastic.
We didn't. Kevin and I, as far as that's concerned.
Yep.
We don't usually do much. We're, Santa Claus, the only thing Santa Claus brings to our house is our stockings. The rest is from us.
Oh, okay.
We don't build
So you don't myth them up?
No. Kevin grew up that way and I did not, and so we've done that for years, but we decided to kind of back off of that because who really is spending the money and who's working for it and saving and trying to think of the perfect gift? We are. So I should be like, oh, Santa gave it to me. Everything I get is for free. It's from Santa.
That's an interesting take.
We have to work for that stuff, so like a little appreciation is a good thing. That's what I think.
No, I think that's an excellent point.
So he comes. We don't go and make it all sad. We were like, oh yeah, Santa Claus, but he comes and does stockings. He fills up the stockings with little toys and whatnot. So yeah.
That's fantastic. I wonder which of, oh boy, I can't put this on the video. Anyway, my kids believe in Santa.
Mine do too.
We do a whole thing. We do Easter Bunny too, where we run around like we saw him out in the backyard, and he's just always right out of sight.
The kids always find the prints.
And the kids like
that must be bunny prints. That must be,
giant clawed bunny.
It's got prints like this. And they go outside, and it's usually bird prints. We had no snow. That's a weird thing.
Yeah, it wasn't a white Christmas this year.
They go outside and they look and they see the prints of the reindeer outside.
Mm-hmm.
And
you saw the thing I did that one year with the sled tracks and the whole thing.
Yeah. That's really fun. But yeah, no snow.
Weird.
It's
Where's
warm
the snow
today. Actually,
this
it's like
year?
55 degrees.
Yeah.
The clouds are low, like we're going to have snow, and I thought for sure last night, because yesterday was warm.
Right.
It feels like spring. It feels like spring yesterday and today. You don't even need a coat. It just feels marvelous.
Yeah.
For some of you, 55 degrees would be freezing cold. But for us,
for Utah,
in the middle of winter, all of a sudden it's like, oh, let's just wear short sleeves and shirt.
It's almost January, and we haven't had a lot of snow. We've only had a few minor snowfalls.
In Orem, we've had nothing.
Yeah.
You had a little bit of snow here. We had some, and none of it even covered. We didn't even have to shovel the snow.
Well, it's saving us on our
clearing out the parking
shuffling
lot.
fees, I guess.
But this summer we're not going to be too happy because we rely on the snow here since we're a high desert. We rely on the snow in the mountains for our spring and summer for all of the green.
For water runoff.
And for water, for actual like drinking water and everything. And secondary water and a whole bit. So it's kind of a big deal. So I'm starting to get a little worried. Unless we can get like January and February full of snow. Yeah. That's
fantastic.
How about you? Is that what we're doing today?
We are. Please, tell us what your experience. Share your life. I also want to make a plug for my alternate YouTube channel. It's called Gately Musings. I'll put a link up for that if I remember. And it's kind of an anything goes, listen to Sean talk about stuff channel. So, quite frankly, I'm looking at it and I'm just like, really? That's what I did. The camera angles are weird. It's not professional. It's
now
really
the tripod
though. It is Gately Musings. So, yeah, we have a tripod now.
Yeah, notice it's not talking back.
Yeah, not talking back. So we had to let Michelle go. I'm kidding. I wonder how many people would think I was serious there.
Yeah, Michelle.
That's all she did around here was hold the. It's like she's got like big old Popeye forearm from holding the camera up. Yeah, I'll break your arms. So Studio Armies, we had the big treasure trove sale, and that is mostly physically gone. So I've ended that one, but we did get a trade-in of 5 armies, and 3 of them are still available. Michelle, come on in. Come on in.
Come here.
No, you're in the shot now.
Michelle, come here. Come on.
Here,
come on.
you take
here for a minute. No, come here. Yeah, come here. Sit down. She's up in the studio, which is a little bit of a distance, 20, 30 feet away, around a corner and up some stairs. And she leans in. She goes, "I heard that." Because I did. Because we were letting her go.
So let's hear about your Christmas.
I can hold the camera.
Sorry, shakes everywhere.
So she's always laughing.
Yeah, it's true.
So tell us
or
about
my
Christmas.
hand goes numb, and then my hand's cold.
Like, oh, I've got to switch it.
And like, my hand is really cold. My fingers feel like they're gonna fall off.
So how's Christmas for you?
It was interesting. It was my first
Merry Christmas.
My first Merry Christmas
with a
little kid. Family all of a sudden just shoved at me. So
when Michelle got married, she has a daughter that came with her husband.
Yes,
who's adorable.
I love her
so
very
sweet.
much.
She's a great mommy.
It was just interesting because she's at a tender age where all these presents are very new and awesome, and she just wants more. So
what else do you have?
Yeah, that was I don't know, because in my family I had a bunch of sisters. But like we always got like a few things, but the tree always looked awesome because
there's so many.
I have so many sisters.
Yeah, that's our house too.
And so we were like, oh, look at all these presents.
You only get 2, but look at all the presents.
I know, but it still looked great. And so, the tree this year was still like there was a bunch of stuff, and it was just
for one person.
Yeah. And so it was a little sad, but good. So good. That's about it.
Glad to hear. She wants snow too. I'm
Yeah.
kind of enjoying the warm, but Michelle's like, we need snow.
It's winter, it's December, and if Utah is going to have the greatest snow on earth license plates, we better do something about that.
Instead of the greatest pavement on earth.
Yeah.
The greatest salt all over your car on earth.
Mm.
Yeah, that comes with snow too.
That's pretty much it. I just think we need to stand up for ourselves and get some snow. Yeah, that's about it.
Well, since Sean and I actually control the weather, we'll take care of
Work on that.
Subconsciously. I have a cosmic hard drive in the back of my brain that's driving this entire illusion.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
You and I are an illusion.
Yeah, constructs.
In Sean's consciousness.
Yep.
But he took the time to create us, which is pretty awesome.
Thank you so much.
Right. Kind of like the Truman Show.
That's a little weird.
But that means we can all get out of his consciousness and go home to real jobs. And
That's right.
That's true too. Well,
right.
on that note, it's time for me to go.
I better get to the illusionary work that's supposedly happening.
Yes.
Hey, you just did my bit.
I did. Oh my god. I've seen you too much. I really got that.
the room. Next thing you know, she'll be
She walks out
saying
of the room like
inappropriate
this.
things. Oh, New Year's resolution. Wait, Michelle, come back.
You can sit here.
Yeah, squeeze.
So you
just
guys
squeeze.
can look at
Do
me
you have
while
any
you
New
talk.
Year's resolutions?
I think I figured one out. It's
Yeah, just
stick your head.
right here.
Stick your head in.
Just squeeze in.
I'll let you go back with my freakishly large head.
okay.
New
This is
Year's
like a family
resolutions.
portrait. Wait. Okay. Anyway,
New Year's resolutions.
pretty much to
I think you're out of frame.
strengthen myself in a way, like be a stronger person and be a little more bold and stand up
We're
for
training her.
Yeah, but it goes along with lots of other things too, and like stand up for what I really believe in.
Okay, that's good.
awesome.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thanks
bye.
for
We had an
sharing.
applicant show up, and he didn't have an art portfolio, didn't have a resume,
Yeah,
he just
we
kind of
talked
just
about
like
this.
walking in. So I called Michelle over,
I remember Michelle.
and I tell him nicely but firmly that that's not, that's not good. What are you doing here without these materials? And then I was like, okay, Michelle, now you say it. Because I'm training Michelle how to, be forthright.
Yeah. Are you able to
No,
tell them
no,
about the
no.
sleeves? How daring you were?
The slow, I don't
Okay,
think
yeah,
we're
okay,
gonna
good.
get into
I was
that.
like, wait, oh, maybe. But, okay,
Yeah.
carry on. I'm really gonna go back to work.
Okay, off you go.
So, see ya.
Thank you, Michelle.
Michelle's great.
We have great people working here.
We do.
It's fantastic.
Michelle works with us also with Hollingsgate and does the Valhalla events and retreats too. So
Yeah. Well, Hollingsgate is going to grow over the coming years. And so that's the thing. Oh, we had a body language expert come in
oh yeah.
and do like a little preliminary class thing for us. And what we found out is that
We're all
I have
psychopaths.
strange eye movements. That normally people kind of look up, left, up, right, or side to side, but I look directly up or directly down, typically. And that means you're looking for inspiration or you're looking into your heart or your emotions. Supposedly, I don't know.
And
Is that
side to
stuff
side,
even real? What was side to side that you were trying to
Listening
figure?
for the
you were
past or
listening.
looking to the future,
Oh,
depending
yeah.
on which.
I don't know. It's like the different fingers mean different things. Is that a real? That's like dream
I think it makes
interpretation,
sense though. It does. I think there's
But it
because
depends on the
it
person.
coincides with your brain, kind
Yeah,
of where
I guess
those
so.
where you're accessing the information. So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
I
my
don't know what I
brain.
did.
My
I was
brain
trying not to
apparently
look
is one
anywhere.
bump
I was,
right
I was,
above.
I was trying
I
to
tried
win the
to.
game and hold
I
my
tried
eyes
to
still.
like look straight ahead, but you can't do it.
Not forever anyway.
Can't do it at all.
Yeah. It was
All
kind
right.
of. It was interesting in any case. You're supposed to have your arms out and like receive or give or love or whatever, and not hold them close.
It's Huskvarten. Huskvarten.
Ah.
But that's a very open
Yeah.
gesture, very accepting.
And how much you're willing to be open to new ideas has to do with that too, right?
It was interesting. I
Whether you're
liked the
closed
thing
in
where it wasn't
or
like, well, this
uncomfortable.
means this or that means that. This could mean you're cold.
Yeah.
But
And they were good about-
she
she was good
explained
about
that these are only cues. They're things where you might want to ask a little bit more.
Right, cues to you
about
to
what's
ask
going on.
questions. Do you need to go? Are you late? If someone's looking at their watch, right? That kind of thing, or if they're just
Well,
getting
you can tell
uncomfortable.
like body language. Some of it's obvious.
Yeah.
Like we were at the coffee
I'm
shop.
cold, for example.
And Xana, she put her purse onto her lap like this, and she was ready to go. So it was it. We all just had to wrap it up based on that one gesture. We're leaving now. You guys don't know it yet, but it's happening.
She was the one girl in the group, so
Well, she started
Only
it.
one
She
with a
got us
purse.
all there.
yeah,
Or like in a college class, you can start hearing people zipping up their bags.
yeah, getting it
If
all
you're kind of the
shutting down.
That's the Oscars playoff music of a classroom going, teach, wrap it up.
It's time to go, yeah. And you lose whatever those last few minutes were anyway. You don't learn anything in those last few because you're thinking about running across campus to
Well,
get to your next class.
Absolutely. Teaching in that type of, like that method of teaching, the amphitheater with one person lecturing, that's like the worst kind of teaching ever.
Some people
Best
get
kind
it,
of
though.
teaching ever is apprenticeship. Actually doing something side
yeah.
by side with
Hands
somebody
on.
who's good.
But it's different for everybody because everyone has a different learning method. My oldest daughter, she can learn great from a lecture and from notes. it just goes right into her brain, and she loves it. She's fine with that. My second daughter, she's kinesthetic or whatever. She's to actually
Tactile?
touch, see, like the whole thing in hands
I
on.
think kinesthetic is
And
the
other
word.
people can, just hear something or just see it or just read it. That's a whole different thing. Being able to
I'm
read
a
it and
reading
translate it
learner.
into here.
I
And a
remember
lot of people,
everything I read.
the reading just shuts them down. Like my brother and some of my kids, they have a harder time getting anything out of printed words because they have to translate it. It doesn't go in as a picture in their brain. It just goes in as words, and it doesn't translate. So anyway, it's a whole different kind. Auditory.
Auditory learning.
Yeah.
Which is what we're doing here. Well, I guess you're seeing us, but
Yeah.
we're not showing you anything. When I was an elementary school teacher, I had to learn how to, I had kids that didn't speak English as their primary language, and that meant using a lot of hand gestures to show
And emotion
what
in
it
the face,
is,
I
right,
would imagine as well.
to convey that. And I think oddly that served me well doing this because it became subconscious. But for me, reading, I'll be in a class and I'll be like, what chapter are we on? I'll be, okay, done. I understand all of this. And then I'll just sit there and doodle
And the teachers
or
love
work
that.
on. Well, in high school, I went to Dungeons and Dragons University, basically. That I sat in the back of the class. I didn't have glasses, so I didn't know it at the time, but
You were
I couldn't
blind.
read anything that was on the board. So I sat in the back of the class. I had my D&D books, and I wrote reams of stuff for my Dungeons and Dragons adventures. And oddly, that made me literate. And
Yeah, and good at
I learned
math.
math from it
Yeah.
too. Good at math. Well, I'm
Yeah,
good at
yeah,
math
that's
in my
good.
head.
Well,
Figuring
sure.
things out. Oh yeah, that's 3
I
cents
used to
per
be, but I
thing.
think I gave those brain cells to someone during the whole being a mom process.
Well,
got leached
physically,
out and put
your
into a
body
child.
is leached out from having kids. It's brutal.
My
I
sister-in-law
thank my wife.
said that they
Thanks for the beautiful
prove it.
babies.
There's actually, you lower your brain mass actually goes down.
Does
I'm
it?
not kidding. You
No
actually,
way.
it does decrease
No way.
physiologically. Yeah,
That's
you
fantastic.
actually lose brain cells.
I
I
don't
always
know,
thought
my
it was
wife
true,
seems pretty
but now
smart.
it's proven. I don't know if that's true, but she told me that, so I'm totally sure it does. It
I
goes
don't
along
know.
with my theory,
I don't know.
which is that I give them half of whatever's left. By the time I hit the 4th child, forget it. I
You've
had
got
like a
1/16 of a brain.
Yeah, it was awful.
See, there's that mental math.
I can't do that anymore. I did that time, but not usually. So what else is going on?
No, I think that's really our morning show. Probably one of the least funny ones that we had. So bad.
Yeah, okay, not really so much.
Oh, Studio Armies. I got I have an Apocalypse Black Templars army sitting out there, and that is like the best deal.
What's the color scheme?
Well, it's white. Excuse me, black. Black for Black Templars,
Just
with
making
white
sure.
as an accent and
White
red
as
as
an
an
accent.
accent.
Is that normal? Does it have
It's
white on it?
tradition. That's really
Very
the only way to
traditional,
paint
okay.
Black Templars.
Because I think we've seen a couple of
So-
companies that are a little slightly different.
Yeah, we have had. I mean, yeah, I shouldn't say only way. But anyway, the models, if you add up all the models, it's conservatively about 1,200 worth of
Oh, gracious.
figures. And I've got it on the block for 18, and that's
That's
fantastic for everything. It's just done.
Crazy. And beautiful. And you can play it with it
It
right
is.
away. And we can get it out to you quick, so.
And but I am thinking if I don't find someone, I'll probably soon I'll probably split it up. So we'll see what Janine's.
So if you
looking
want that
like
whole
today.
marvelousness, you have
Oh,
to
please
respond
do.
quickly before it gets split.
Oh, you're pitching it. Go ahead.
Well, no, it's true though. I mean, somebody might
That's
oh
fantastic.
yeah, I'll wait and see, but then it'll be split up, and then you won't have a chance to get that amazing
Right.
deal for all of that. Once it's
Yeah.
split up, it's not quite the same. So
Absolutely.
it's harder to get everything you want.
Oh, my other big news, and I don't know if I want to announce this, but I think I'll just go ahead, is I gave in. I gave in to the temptation. I
weren't
bought
gonna tell.
StarCraft 2.
I didn't say anything.
I know, you were so
I was
good.
in on it. I didn't say a word to anyone.
Yep, I've been playing StarCraft 2. That's been
Yep.
eating up 2 to 4
I
hours
was
a
there when
day.
he bought it. And I
So-
gave him the little bit of word of warning, but at the same time, I just supported the
Oh.
purchase.
I'm gonna indulge for a little bit, but then I'll have to
It
get
still
back on
seems
the
to be
wagon.
functioning, so I'm
It is.
not as concerned as
Well,
I
my
am.
rule is if I'm that eager to do it, I'm finishing my work first. So I go through, I make sure all the videos are up, everything's sewed up, everything looks good, and then I can go home and treat myself.
Yeah,
to
that's a
it.
better
But
way to do it.
no, No, it's not okay. And let me tell you why. When you own a business, that's what you do. And you have to keep the heat on. Granted, I'm now at 8 years. We're coming up on our 8th year anniversary in about 5 days.
Yeah.
Right. And so, you know, so there is a point in your business where, yes, you can actually, you can breathe in. And maybe this is that moment for me. That, you know, we've paid off a goodly portion of the bills and we're looking kind of steady.
Yeah, we've been really careful.
But that's the difference between a successful business and not a successful business.
Okay.
Is if you spent 2 hours a day doing whatever it is, non-business related, and didn't put in that extra time, let's say 3 hours a day extra. Well, guess what? That is 900 hours a year that you're behind.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So yeah, 300 working days, 3 hours a day. Hold on a second. Let's add this up. So over the course of 8 years, I am 7,200 hours ahead of the guy that was playing World of Warcraft. But
If he ever got out of the basement and actually started a business.
That's right. A lot of game shops, especially, you go in and I've seen this tons of times. Not tons. I've seen it twice. Twice is apparently a ton.
In
hyperbolic terms. It's so you go in and you can't get any attention because, you know, the guy's playing EverQuest was the one place in California, and I was looking at him like,
hello?
Would you like me to come in here and vacuum? You know, and I wanted to support my local shop, so I held a tournament. I brought my own terrain, you know, and I vacuumed, and the place probably hadn't been vacuumed for 6 months, maybe longer.
Yeah, but that's less of a business and more
like
of
it was
smelly hobby.
You had to kind of, yeah, exactly. You got to treat it like a business.
Yeah, it ends up costing you money.
Well, it makes me wonder what more could I have done if I had really paid attention. Well, because I've never been back up to missionary stringent. Like when you're a missionary, it's like they teach you how to use your time.
Oh yeah.
And you get up.
They require.
Which to me is the most astounding thing. You get this young person to volunteer for your organization for 2 years.
Pay for it themselves.
Where they pay for it themselves and do nothing except that 16 hours a day for 2 years.
Oh, but giving like that teaches you something that you probably don't learn.
I'm not saying I regret it.
No, I'm not saying you are either. I'm just
set
saying
me up for life.
Pretty amazing too, because you get such a big thing
But
back
that's
from
a lot of man hours.
Like an internship or a job that you go and volunteer for, where you get so much out of it, like an education.
How many missionaries are out right now? I think it's 20 or 30,000.
I have no idea.
But that's you can
and that's just in the one church.
You can do a lot.
I mean,
with
lots of
20,000.
religions have missionaries out.
I'm going to go with the word zealot. You can go, well, and I'm going to define that by somebody who's completely dedicated to whatever it is they're doing. And when you're a missionary, that's it. You don't read, you don't watch TV, you don't read books or magazines not related to what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're like, everything else is excluded. You don't have a girlfriend, you don't have a job, you do nothing except that 16 hours. You get up at 6:30, you go to sleep at 10:30.
Yep.
Them's your working hours. You get.
But you'd be hard pressed to find many people who didn't say it was one of the best things they ever did. So, you know, hard or not. Even if they say
I was totally happy as a missionary.
Yeah.
It was really
And then
there was
all
where
other kinds
you would lay in bed
of missionaries
in your cot, and I would just fall asleep like that. I would sleep like a baby, and then I would wake up at 6:29. It's the weirdest thing. 1 minute before the alarm went off, I'd go, bing. And that's how I made myself get up, as I had a big silver alarm clock with bells on top.
Oh, I hate those.
And I put it across the room. I put it all the way across the room, so I would have to actually get up
to go turn
the alarm clock off. And
I
then
tried that with my
exercises, running in place. Crazy. And you look, and we lived in basically prison conditions. No,
not quite.
We lived in a room. Well, of course. I'm just saying. You could compare a lot of my quarters to a prison cell. We had one that was 5 feet wide. One room that was 5 feet wide, and about 9 feet long. And so the
Holy.
bunk beds, so to kneel next to the bed, your feet, you wouldn't actually fit. You'd have to kind of go diagonally. That's how close. There's like this much space between the bed and the wall.
Oh boy.
And we had
kitchen?
2 nails on the wall with a rope, and that's where we hung our clothes on that.
Pretty exciting.
That's called living poor, folks. And 2 suitcases. You had to be able to move your entire possessions in 2 suitcases. A big one and a small one in your satchel. And you carry them both, on the various buses.
You probably were glad that's all you had, though, when you had to haul them.
Yeah. I actually found that as time went on, I just started dumping even the very little stuff
Fit
that
it all
I
down
had.
to one.
Well, I think Gandhi, in a way, had it right. Like, it was funny. It's like, okay, arrest me. And then he'd go to the jail cell, and that would be like kind of how he was living anyway. Like, he owned a bowl and a spoon and like a little rattan mat, and could fast for like 30 days and just be like, okay, like, what could they do to him?
Yeah.
What could they do to him?
Short of killing him, there was really... Yeah.
So interesting.
Taking stuff away wasn't a punishment.
But Sean, now, I got a lot to lose.
Sean's like on his bed, and he's got his computer and his kids,
That's right.
TV, and food.
Everything's around. Yeah, well, this morning we got up and there were crumbs in the bed, like a lot of crumbs.
Hate that.
Hold on a second. It was that Willow, because Willow's favorite thing, because I go to bed before the kids. Because I pass
you
out.
get up in the middle of the day.
I pass out at
at
like 8:30 and 9:30. So I go in as I'm falling asleep. Willow comes in, and she ensconces herself right here.
Food.
And she had a cookie, and I remember kind of waking up. I was kind of watching her to see if she would, she's gone to sleep. And you see her arm with the cookie slowly going down. Like she couldn't hold it up to her mouth. She's like, this cookie's so yummy. Nom. And so apparently as the male walrus was wallowing around at night, he pulverized this cookie, this entire cookie, into fragments.
Oh man.
So yeah,
Yeah,
the male walrus.
Food on the bed. Can't do that.
Yeah, pretty bad. All right, I think we're done here.
Yeah.
We're done here. So Sarah, you got contacts in? Is that? Or
Yeah, I have contacts in.
Because when Sarah doesn't have contacts or glasses in, she's like looking at her.
I'm like, but it was so bad because I had.
She looks like an
broken
angry
glasses.
badger.
I had my glasses because I usually take a couple years
Oh,
off
yeah.
and wear
Do you have
glasses,
those?
and then they're
Have
upstairs.
you taken care of this yet, by the way?
Just the contacts. I haven't got the glasses
Okay.
yet, but I got the
Is that
prescription.
happening? Do you have an appointment?
I have a prescription. I have to call Cammie. She had some cool place. I was
So,
supposed to check.
hold on a second. But you had an old prescription. Do you have a new prescription?
New prescription.
So you did take care of that
Yes,
aspect.
and got
They
contacts.
tested your eyes.
Yes.
And you got a new thing.
Yes, but I had the side was broken off and they couldn't fix
Right.
it. They couldn't. There was no way to
so
fit
it was
fix
so
So
ghetto.
they're just sitting here
I'm like,
with
really?
one
You
side,
can't fix that with modern technology?
and there was nothing on this side,
Right.
and I'm like balancing them on my nose. So what would happen
That's
is
so
they'd
bad.
shift, as you can imagine, and so then the vision, because it's curved,
Right.
it's not the same through the sides.
Right.
You don't get the same
Right.
vision. So I end up with this huge headache for 2
Oh.
days while I was trying to get into the doctor's office to get, whatever it's called. Eye doctor.
Optometrist.
Thank you.
Ophthalmologist.
So-
What's the difference, I
I
wonder?
don't think it's an ophthalmologist.
No, I think ophthalmologist is a thing. All right, nerds. I'm unleashing the nerds on this question.
So
Technically,
it was bad for 2 days, so
it's
I did
optometrist.
it yesterday. Got contacts. Don't have glasses
All right.
yet. So there.
I love you, nerds. You're fantastic. You're keeping me in business for one.
There's that.
That's the nice thing. When I eat
For
my
employing
food,
us.
I'm like, yep.
This way we don't have to work somewhere else. We'd rather not.
My kids now, when they say the family prayers, they say, and that Daddy will make all the sales that he needs. Because I always say that. It's like just for the sales. But I'm actually praying for all the people that I owe money to.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
That they will do well. All right, I think we're out. Thanks for tuning in.
Take care.